Most people see football as just a game, but for Putin, the world is his football field where he operates with the precision of a seasoned striker. With an army akin to top-tier players, Putin plays a strategic match, using sports not just for entertainment, but as a powerful move in the global game of influence and politics. But why? What's Putin's relationship with football? This video will answer that question and more. But before we continue, please subscribe if you haven't already. Vladimir Putin has cleverly used sports to sculpt both his image and Russia's on the world stage. Under his reign, major events like the Sochi Olympics and the FIFA World Cup were more than just sporting spectacles. They were tools in a grand strategy. These events served a dual purpose, elevating Russia's standing globally whilst boosting Putin's popularity back home. Putin's involvement in sports goes beyond mere patronage. He's often seen engaging in various physical activities, ranging from judo to ice hockey. This isn't just for show, it's a calculated move to craft his image as a strong athletic leader. This portrayal feeds into a broader narrative where Putin isn't just a political figure, but a symbol of Russian strength and vitality. The Sochi Olympics and FIFA World Cup in particular were milestones in this strategy. They weren't just about winning medals or hosting football matches. For Putin, these events were platforms to showcase a resurgent Russia, a country that had regained its place on the global stage after the collapse of the Soviet Union. They were meant to send a message. Russia, under Putin, is a force to be reckoned with. The success of these events at home was just as important. They helped galvanize national pride and, by extension, Putin's popularity. By associating himself with these triumphs in sports, Putin reinforced his image as the architect of Russia's resurgence. This blending of sport and politics isn't new, but under Putin, it has become a key element of his governance style, a way to strengthen his grip on power whilst projecting Russian strength and unity to the world. The relationship between FIFA, its leaders, and the political undertones of football is subject to intense scrutiny. Central to this is the role of FIFA and figures like Gianni Infantino and their controversial decision to host major football events in Russia. Critics argue that FIFA, in its pursuit of a grand and successful World Cup, may have overlooked or underestimated the political ramifications of their choices. This criticism stems from a belief that FIFA's decision-makers were either naive about the political landscape in Russia or just chose to ignore it for the sake of sport's biggest spectacle. In its eagerness to deliver a memorable World Cup, the implication is that FIFA allowed football to be used as a tool for political gains, particularly by the Russian government under Vladimir Putin. This usage goes beyond the boundaries of sport, entering the realm of political propaganda and image building. The idea that FIFA's leadership was swayed by the appeal of a successful tournament to the extent of sidelining ethical considerations raises serious questions about the governance and decision-making process within football's most influential body. It suggests a potential compromise of sports integrity and the principles upon which it should stand. Such a stance also implicates FIFA in the broader sense of sports washing, where sports are used to distract from or soften the perception of contentious political regimes. In this context, the World Cup in Russia wasn't just a celebration of football, but also a strategic move by the host nation to enhance its global image and divert attention from its political actions. This critique of FIFA and its leaders reflects the growing concern about the intersection of sports, politics, and ethics. It challenges the notion of sport as a neutral entity and underscores the need for responsible and aware governance in the world of football. Sports washing and the Putinization of football uncovers a strategic play where football becomes more than a game, it morphs into a political tool. The term Putinization shows how the Russian government, closely aligned with President Vladimir Putin, has slowly extended its influence over the beautiful game. This move isn't just about owning teams or controlling leagues. It's a deeper, more calculated infiltration into the very heart of football institutions. Then there's the World Cup, a spectacle of unity and celebration turned into a tool for image laundering. Hosting this colossal event offered Russia a golden ticket to remold its global perception. The thrill of the game, the unity of fans, the spectacle of the opening ceremony. All these elements serve to cast a favourable light on the host, diverting attention from the more contentious political narratives. It's a cunning use of sports washing, where the glamour of football glosses over the rough edges of a nation's political image. Russia's game plan was clear: use football's universal appeal to strengthen its standing on the world stage. The mix of economic and political agendas in football has become increasingly evident, notably through the strategic moves of Russian state companies like Gazprom. Their approach is simple yet effective: sponsor and own football clubs. Gazprom, a giant in the natural gas sector with substantial government ownership, turned its eyes to the football world. Their strategy was clear: align with popular clubs across Europe, becoming synonymous with the sport itself. Take Zenit St. Petersburg, for example. Once Gazprom took over the reins in 2005, championships followed, attracting star players and elevating Zenit to a powerhouse in Russian football. But this wasn't just about winning games. It was a statement of power, a demonstration of how economic muscle could translate into sporting success and, by extension, political clout. The impact extended beyond Russian borders. Gazprom's sponsorship deals with clubs like Schalke in Germany weren't just business transactions. They were strategic placements aimed at building credibility and legitimacy in key European markets. Football became a channel for soft power, a way to subtly shift perceptions and create dependencies, not just in sport, but in critical areas like energy. This tactic of influence isn't confined to Gazprom or Russian entities alone. It reflects a broader trend where economic giants and state-backed entities use sports, particularly football, as a vehicle for their wider ambitions. It's about scoring goals on the field and making strategic moves in the boardrooms and halls of power. The beautiful game, it seems, is not just about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. It's increasingly a game of thrones, played on a global scale. This isn't a trend limited to Russia. Nations like Qatar, Saudi Arabia and Hungary have also utilised football to project power and polish their international images. Qatar's hosting of the 2022 World Cup is a prime example. The tiny yet wealthy nation used this opportunity to showcase its progress and modernity despite facing criticism over human rights issues and labour conditions. Similarly, Saudi Arabia's investments in sports, including football, are a part of its broader strategy to reform its image and diversify its economy under its Vision 2030 plan. Hungary presents a different angle. The government's investment in football, including stadium constructions and club ownerships, is seen as a tactic to gain public support and promote nationalistic sentiments. Hungarian football clubs have become more like tools in the hands of the government, entangling sports with political agendas. These instances highlight a growing pattern. Football is no longer just a game, it's a soft power tool. Governments and political entities are increasingly realising the potential of football to shape public opinion, both domestically and internationally. It's a medium through which they can create narratives, build national pride, and even distract from less attractive aspects of their governance. However, this marriage of football and politics raises crucial questions about the integrity of the sport. Should football remain a pure unpolitical space, or is it inevitable for it to reflect and engage with broader societal and political realities? The answer isn't straightforward, but it's clear that the sport is now a player in the complex game of international politics and public perception. Please remember to like and share this video. Also subscribe and turn on notifications for more amazing content.